The results-driven Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce invites you to connect your business with 1,000 other companies just like yours, including education and workforce development, healthcare, professional services, manufacturing, retail, nonprofit, trades and vocations, hospitality, among many others, and benefit with chamber programs and services such as government affairs, energy and economic development, small business assistance, networking opportunities, women in business programs, young people in business programs, and more. We invite your business to become a starring member of the Merrimack Valley Chamber today and see what difference this chamber will make for you. Join your community's most trusted, effective, and relevant business network connection today. The Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Merrimack Valley Chamber Means Business program. We're here with some special guests from a whole host of different networks, but the one I'm just going to bring up right now is the Lowell Memorial Auditorium. I'll have you guys tell us where else, but I'm here with Cassidy and Selene, so welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you again for joining us. And as I mentioned, the Lowell Memorial Auditorium is one of the different platforms you guys work with. But tell us about the whole host of networks you're part of.
Yeah, so we are all throughout New England, from up in Laconia, New Hampshire, straight down through Rhode Island. But in this area, the Merrimack Valley, we have Nashua Center for the Arts in Nashua, New Hampshire. Obviously, Lowell Memorial Auditorium. And then we also work with Cary Memorial Hall up in Lexington.
Perfect. Well, again, thanks for being part of the show.
Of course.
And, I know some of the viewers at home are familiar with some of these different sites, but, the one, the Merrimack Valley Chambers has dealt with a lot is the Lowell Memorial Auditorium. And we've done big events like the Holiday Pops with Keith Lockhart. That's one really cool thing that you have is right in our own backyard. Keith Lockhart comes right to Lowell. A lot of places miss out on seeing that, but at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium every year, he is there. And a whole host of other different events. So tell us about some of the different performers or artists that you have coming. I know it's a really great variety of people coming to the different platforms.
Yeah, for sure. We have a big variety of artists coming in, ranging from comedians to artists, performing arts, or just musicians. And we have Air Supply coming up really soon in 1 week, and we're really excited to have them in Lowell Memorial. We also have Safe Haven Ballet performing Romeo and Juliet pretty soon. And we're really excited about that because we want to emphasize to our community and be able to show Lowell, the community of Lowell, and everyone that arts has a place in Lowell Memorial Auditorium. And we also have Irish Fest coming up pretty soon in the summer. And we are going to have a variety of performers performing music all over the Lowell Memorial Auditorium area. And we're going to also have games and performing arts.
Oh, that's really cool. And the one thing I heard when you were going through that whole list is there's a really great variety of different shows and acts and artists and performers. It's something for everyone that comes right in our own backyard in Lowell. And as you mentioned in Nashua and the other location you mentioned also, it's the same thing. People get to have the opportunity to come out, not have to deal with the Boston traffic, not have to deal with the Boston parking prices, and have it right in their own backyard. And one of the coolest things is most of these events happen every single year as well.
Yes, that's very true. So like the one that Selene had talked about, the Irish Fest, we do have that every September. This will be, I believe, our 4th year with it. So we're very excited to bring it back. In Nashua, it's kind of newer, but we will be Nashua Community Arts, which is the nonprofit associated with the Nashua Center for the Arts, will be hosting a gala. There's one coming up this June, but that will become an annual event as well that the community can take part in.
No, it's such a great thing. It's right all about the community. You guys really do a great job of involving, whether it be in Nashua or Lowell, and you can do a great job involving the entire Merrimack Valley and region to come out and see these great performing arts and see the culture that's on hand. So it's a really great opportunity to come out and see those different things. You have some great national acts, but you also have some great local acts as well. It's a great mesh in between. So for people that are watching the show, some of these might have already passed, some might be coming up. How do people find out about these different performances or people coming in?
Yeah, so if you're looking for all of our different venues and all the different shows happening at all of the venues Spectacle Live works with, you can go to spectaclelive.com. But then if you wanted to look at venue specific, you could go to lowellauditorium.com or nashuacenterforthearts.com.
Perfect. And so you have a lot of great acts and a lot of great performers coming in, but it's also a space that, businesses or people can rent out to host their own gatherings, correct?
Yes. So both of the venues, you can host things from a wide range of different things. So Salon had mentioned Safe Haven Ballet, so they're renting out the venue to put on a show.
Oh, wow.
So that they're putting on Romeo and Juliet, and normally they'll put on the Nutcracker at the winter time.
Okay.
And then you can also rent it out for things such as weddings, corporate events, things along those lines.
Oh, pretty cool. So how do people go about renting, seeing how they can rent it out?
So they can either go to our websites, so lowellauditorium.com or NashvilleCenterForTheArts.com, or they can reach out directly to Kathleen Tormey, who is in charge of all of our rentals at all of our venues that we do rentals for.
Okay.
And her email is ktormey, TORMEY, at spectaclelive.com.
And I think something, it's important to mention is, I think people think about going to these performances, they might have to think, I have to go face the traffic or go to, a place like Boston, they might think of, but this is our own backyard. It's right in Lowell. There's plenty of parking. You're not like, pay $50 or $100 for parking, like what you're used to doing in Boston these days, unfortunately.
Yes.
And you get to see those same people that will go to those different areas. They're coming right in your own backyard. And one of the best things I think about Lowell Memorial, I'm familiar with Lowell Memorial, I'm sure it's with the same your other locations, is that the view is amazing. It doesn't matter where you are sitting in the place. It's an amazing view. You're right there. It's the best sounds. It's the best sights. It really is a great opportunity.
Oh, 100%. I couldn't agree with you more. And similarly with our Nashville Center for the Arts, so it's brand new, like I said, opened last April 1st.
Yes.
And there really is no bad seat to see a show there, whether you're in the balcony or on the orchestra level. The views are amazing. Nothing is in your way. You can see literally everything from every angle.
Yeah, it really is a cool view of anywhere you sit in there, whether you're in the very first seat or the very last seat. Yeah. You're right there regardless. So it's a really cool opportunity to get out there and see some of your favorite performers, live and live in color right there. So it really is cool. What are some of your favorite acts that come in there during the year? I'm not sure if you have one that comes to mind or if you have one coming up. But what have been some of your favorite experiences working at these different areas?
I would say one of my favorite experiences, I like the comedians just because it can range from, crazy ones to very mild and tame. But I think up in Laconia, so a little outside of this area, we had Whitney Cummings, which was really cool.
Okay.
So she's kind of a comedian from our generation and she's very funny. But I think those are kind of some of my favorite shows to see and just see how the comedians kind of interact with the crowds.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Do you have one at all? Or?
I think my favorite was the past Golden Gloves, New England Golden Gloves.
Oh, yes.
That we held in Lowell Memorial Auditorium. And I don't know if you guys saw, but on the social media platform, I had a lot of videos with the voting going on with the boxers. And I just thought it was really amazing to see the community get together basically to watch this amazing sport and support all these people that want to become big in the boxing industry. Yeah. And I just thought that was really amazing to see, and it was also really fun to watch.
Yeah, as long as you're not one of the boxers, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
So. But, I think that's the important thing is, we talked about concerts earlier, you just talked about boxers, you talked to comedians. It's really something for everyone that's coming right to these different venues, and it really is a great opportunity. For someone who hasn't been to any of the venues yet, what's the main reason you'd say to come out and check out a show?
I think the experience. We like to create an experience that is kind of different than our competitors. We like to make sure from the second someone walks through that door or has even an interaction with us that it's a positive interaction and they're coming for a good time, not just necessarily the show. We want them to really stick with our venues and find shows that maybe even a little outside of their comfort zone or something they wouldn't necessarily typically go to, but because it's at one of our venues, they are drawn to it anyway.
Sure, no, that's a great reason, and like you said, it's right there. Great opportunity to come out and check out the different performances that are on hand. You mentioned social media a little bit earlier. What are the different social media platforms that people can check out some of these pictures, start following you to see what's coming up as well, see past shows? What are the different social media platforms you're on?
Yeah, for sure. We have our Spectacle Live accounts, and that's on Instagram at spectacle.live. And on Facebook, you can find us as Spectacle Live. For Lowell Memorial Auditorium, we have our Instagram is at Lowell AUD Odd. And for Facebook, it's just Lowell Memorial Auditorium, and you can follow us and follow the events we post there. And for Nashua Center for the Arts, for Instagram, it's at Nashua Center for the Arts, and for Facebook, it's Nashua Center for the Arts. And we post every event on all of those platforms.
No, that's great. And I was scrolling through as we were getting ready for the show today, and I was seeing the different variety. I was seeing how frequently you guys post as well. So it really is a great opportunity for people that aren't following you to start following you, and again, see what's coming up. And speaking of what's coming up, do you guys have events all 12 months? Do you have it all year? Does it shut down anytime, or do the performances run all year long?
So we do have performances all year round. Our different venues, it kind of just varies. Some of our seasons can be a little heavier show
Sure.
loads, and some of the seasons are a little lower show load. Kind of just depends on what we have coming
Sure.
along those lines. And then, like I had mentioned, some of the stuff, we have rentals. So some of our seasons that may be lower show loads have higher rentals.
Okay.
At Lowell Auditorium, every spring we have a ton of dance recitals and dance competitions that come through.
Yep.
In January, like she had mentioned, January through March at Lowell Auditorium, we have our Golden Gloves. So although that's not necessarily an artist show, it is something that comes in every year. It's annual, 76 years this past year.
Wow.
So that's something, big. Our summer months can slow a little bit in terms of that, but we also have kind of bigger things going on in the background.
Cool. And you mentioned earlier as well that it seems like a community event with stuff going on outside. Is that correct?
Yeah, like outside of the auditorium itself, the
is
outside
that like a festival,
area.
or?
It is. It's the Irish Festival.
Oh, wow. So how will that work?
It will be different stages across the Lowell Memorial Auditorium outdoor area. And people will be able to go to any of the stages they want, to watch any of the performers they want, whether it's inside the Lowell Memorial Auditorium big stage or outside in one of the smaller stages. And there's going to be food vendors and drinks and just fun for everyone.
So a big festival almost.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and this year and as well as last year, it was presented by Guinness, so that's huge too. So Guinness will be all over everything at Irish Festival.
Yeah. So if you like Guinness, you want to make sure to check this out. It's Irish Festival, you can't have without it. So.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, does this event happen every year, or is this the first time you're doing it?
Yep, so this is our, I believe, 4th year.
Okay, pretty cool. So just tell everyone at home, again, how they can find out more information on your website, any phone numbers that you would like to give out, anything like that. What's the best way people can learn more about what's going on at these different venues and see more of the event schedules?
Yeah, so for Spectacle Live and all of our venue and event calendars, you can go to spectaclelive.com or follow us on social media, Spectacle Live. And then for Lowell Memorial Auditorium, it's lowellauditorium.com. And then our social media, Lowell Memorial Auditorium. And for Nashua Center for the Arts, it's nashuacenterforthearts.com. And our social media is Nashua Center for the Arts.
Perfect. And we talked about some of the upcoming events. What are some of the big annual events that you see coming to any of these venues? I know the Boston Pops was a big one that our chamber provides, is able to offer our members tickets to those events. And like I said, with Keith Lockhart every year, people love to come check it out. And something that's great because they can put on their calendar for every year and have it with their tradition with their family or friends. But is there any other performer that really stands out in your mind?
Not specifically, no. I think kind of our bigger things, especially at Lowell Memorial Auditorium, are kind of our Irish Fest, our Boston Pops with Keith Lockhart, and our Golden Gloves.
Okay, and you mentioned a few, the different venues that you have that you are promoting.
Yeah.
How do the three venues differ from each other?
I think part of it, the biggest thing that differs between all three of them is their setups.
Okay.
So in Lexington, it's a venue that we go in, we run a show, and then we come out of, whereas Lowell Memorial Auditorium and Nashua Center for the Arts, we both manage those, so we're in those day to day running them. But as a whole, those two venues, their spaces are very unique. So the floor can actually, chairs can be taken away from the floors, and you can make it a general admission show. You can also put out banquet tables. Like I had mentioned, you can do rentals with weddings, or you can do comedy shows with tables and chairs instead of just all full-length seating.
I see. Yeah, so it gives you the flexibility to have the
Yes.
event that you're looking to have at this site. So it really gives you the opportunity, where there's not really many places you can do that, to come right there and host an event. So that's
Yeah.
great. You know, as we start to close out the episode, I just want to first off say thank you again for being our guest today, and thanks for all the great things that you bring right here in the Merrimack Valley as well. As we start to close out though, just tell us one more time, for people who have not checked out one of these sites before, what's the main reason they should come check it out?
I think you should check it out for the variety of shows we have and the uniqueness of all of our different venues.
Anything like that at all?
I will just say the exact same thing.
I think it's a great reason, and it really is true. You know, we touched upon some of the different artists, some of the different performers, some of the different shows and opportunities, and it really is, whether you want to host your own event or see a comedy event, see a holiday event, see a boxing event, see, you know, I know I've been to wrestling in the past there as well. You know, it really is a great opportunity. You don't, as I know I'm probably getting sick of me saying this, but you don't have to face that Boston traffic. You don't have to face those Boston parking prices, all the food costs inside as well. It really is a great opportunity for the whole family to come out, your friends, your family, your co-workers, whatever it might be. It's right in your own backyard. You know, don't miss on the opportunity. So again, I just want to say thank you for both of you being here. One last time, just mention the websites again, and before we sign off.
Perfect. Thank you again for having us.
Of course.
And you can find the whole range of all of our shows at spectaclelive.com. For Lowell Memorial Auditorium, it's lowellauditorium.com. And for Nashville Center for the Arts, it's nashvillecenterforthearts.com.
Perfect. Well, we want to say thank you to both of you again for being part of the show today. We appreciate it. And I want to say thank you at home to everyone for being part of another edition of the Merrimack Valley Chamber Means Business program. And we look forward to seeing you next time.